My name is Yul Emerson. I am a 10th grader at Glendora High School, and I attend Glenkirk Church. Favorite things to do when I'm not in school, which is basically just quarantine nowadays, is basically I usually like to edit and I usually like to do video games. Now I've just taken a recent liking to writing as well because I just love writing, and I just think that would help me a lot more in the future and what I'm interested in, which is lots of film stuff, lots of stuff in films and sort of like that. So why do I like writing? Well, I think it's a perfect art form. I think it's a way that's not only transversal in films, but also transversal in just a lot of things like video games and books and comics and everything like that. There's different types of ways to write. Right now I'm just trying to do it, pretty easily on book form. And also what I'm making as my project right now is kind of also a secret, but usually what I like to write is and this is obviously just something that lots of writers like to answer with. I do like writing a lot with sci-fi or horror because those you can open up. It's really dangerous genres to dive into. You can speak a lot about what you truly believe in those genres, and I do think that those are definitely the most powerful genres to step into. So of course, those are my favorite ones to write in. I still have to go with hamburgers, but I basically at this point eaten a lot of stuff, and now I'm basically just trying to make sure I eat a lot more healthily. Is that the right word? Yeah, that's the right word.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically about it. But if I remember correctly, yeah, burgers are pretty good. Fall Guys, Black Ops 2, or Halo 3. I think my ability to make people laugh, that's obviously a genuine one. Well, this answer is pretty obvious. The world will obviously become a lot more diverse, which is always really a great thing. We need a lot more diversity in this world, and a lot more people, to make the world a lot, more open. I mean, that's never a bad thing. So, of course, when I grow up, that's going to be a thing that's obviously going to change from when I was younger to when I'm older. So, basically, that's basically one of the biggest changes, because there's going to be more diverse people with different opinions, people with different beliefs, and I'm fine with all of that. I think the thing that typically happens when someone grows up is that they're not comfortable in that sort of stuff. But I think it's safe to say that I'm not only very comfortable in it, I thrive to be comfortable in those areas. Oh yeah, I want to make a difference a bit because there's just I see this type of hate that I see within a lot of people, and some people of course are uneducated, and that's of course a huge bad thing. We should definitely have a lot better education system than it. However, in that sort of case, I think there's a lot of harm being done to other people, lots of bias, lots of things being thrown around, especially nowadays. I think the best way we could change that, I think, is obviously through writing, and I think the best way I can do that is by making, whether it's books, films, whatever I produce, and if it goes to the mass market, people look at that and they think about it and they think about what they digest, and then when they think about it, then they try to research it, and that, that's the goodness of what I want to preserve. So that's what I want to do. I want to change the world for the better in that sort of way. I know there's a lot of things out there like systemic racism and obviously xenophobia. We shouldn't have all that stuff. That's awful. So I want to discuss about that. I want to discuss them in a really mature tone and really mature manner, however I can. So basically, before the split, I was questioning a lot of things, but I didn't want to say them out loud. In fact, I was a pretty shy kid, and that's kind of my biggest problem when I was younger. I didn't go out socially or anything like that, so I didn't know how to express those feelings. Also, I was dealing with a lot of bad family issues during that time. Um, and it was not only a split in the church, it was also a split in like my parents' marriage, basically. And that was during a time. Then when all that happened, I started to wake up and realize that the world's not always going to be black and white. It's not always going to be like good versus evil. There has to be shades in between. I started watching YouTube. I started doing all that stuff, and I started to reawaken myself socially. And during that time, I was really questioning God a lot of it. Like, why would this happen to me? And then I think when Dusty came in, I think it fixed a lot of that because he really did care about the people. And during that time, I did consider myself then a Christian. And I started looking to the Bible. I started looking to passages. And once I went to passages, I started looking into the history of those passages, what they mean, and what do they actually qualify. Are these just metaphors? Is this just old for the time, which lots of the Bible, some things that they describe are pretty old for the time, and they describe it in weird ways, and it just doesn't get out in the translation. But definitely for lots of the New Testament, lots of the Old Testament is definitely done right in translation. I have to look into all of that when I'm reading a passage. I have to look into what God is saying about this, God's saying about that. I started to become a Christian, if you can tell. It was just all this sort of stuff, and I love the more engaged grew, the better it got, and it's definitely in a great place where it is right now. You guys do an amazing job with delving into the Bible, what it means contextually, and what God wants for us as people, and what we need to do if we want to spread His kingdom.